What up, guys? Paradox back with more tech support. We're here today to go over how to remove the valve springs in your 3.8, 3.9, or 4.2 S6 V6 engine, including the Ford Mustang, Ford F-150, Ford Freestar, and Ford Windstar. This is how you remove a valve spring. So in this video, we're going to be using a tool from Performance Tool called a valve spring compressor. And this isn't the Harbor Freight one, the little one that attaches on from the top and removes this. I've actually used those, and the hooks at the bottom that are offset are very hard to line up with one of these. And then you're still stuck with, if you want to try to leave this on the vehicle, how you're going to keep that within the dropping within the cylinder. So in order to remove a valve spring the right way, this would be how you do it. So you're going to buy this tool. You can buy it online for roughly probably $30. If you go into a store, you're going to, it's going to cost over $100 to rent this thing. So I bought one, and what we're going to do is take out the tool. There's a few different adjustments that you got to make on it. So when you see your tool, what you're going to have here is a clamp that clamps the valve spring. And what this does is you want to realize that it opens up a very large extended way, and you're not going to use that whole volume. You're going to only end up trying to use about that much of the volume. You know what I mean? So that you're kind of in the middle with it when you clamp down, so that when you have it fit to the valve spring, it's going to be clamped all the way. You know what I mean? Not halfway in the clamp. So you're going to be able to use this adjustment once we get it on, and I'll show you how, as well as this side. And what this is this is where you put this over the top of the valve spring keeper and retainer, and you're able to customizably adjust this. And you want to make sure you get one with this, or you got to be able to bend these, because the 3.8 ones are a little smaller. So when you have your valve spring compressor tool, then you have your head. So, and you already know how to take this off the engine. And so to get here, you're going to have already taken off the rocker arm fulcrum bolts and remove the push rod with the little caps that are inside of your rocker that makes sure that this contact point is made. So what I do is I take them out and I put them in a bag that says, this would be exhaust cylinder 4. So on the side of the vehicle, we're going to have cylinders 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be 4, 5, 6. So this would be exhaust cylinder 4. It would be this valve, and I'd put that in a bag. So same with when I pull this out, I'll show you what we do. You take the tool and you line it up over the top of the valve spring, just like that. And I have mine pre-adjusted so I don't have to F with it much on video, but you just see it live that it's not hard. So it's all lined up. And then you use this one to make sure that, that's kind of lined up within the retainer. And when you take it off, it comes off, and it's not going to give you any shit on the way off. So once you have that side on, a lot of people on this valve side you line this up with the valve. And what you're going to do is a lot of people put a piece of, something that's, you're going to make sure this doesn't get marred up. And right now, this is just a garbage head I'm showing you for the video. So you have the top side on, and you're going to get this right over the valve. Like that. And press her down. Till she's good and dead on. Now make sure that the other side's nice and dead on. And then you got to clamp that. Your valve retainers will probably fall out. Your keepers will probably fall off. A lot of people put a magnet there. Some of them have to pick it off with a magnet. I've just done this. I know that they fall off if I'm doing it this way. So that's now exposed the end of the valve into the cylinder. So if you would have did this with the other piece, the valve can fall into the cylinder. So now that I have it, but that comes off because the keeper and the spring and that's the order here. So you're going to have keepers first, your valve retainer with the bell side up, and then the flat side into the spring. And then you're going to have the valve And then so once you're and what I do at this point is if I'm going to put them into a bag and work on the heads, I'll usually slide this through there, put this all in a bag, and I'd put cylinder 4 exhaust. So because that would be cylinder 4 on this side of the engine, exhaust port, you know, because there's going to be a total of 6 per head. So you're going to have 2 per cylinder. So now that we have this all the way out, what we're going to do is reassemble it with the same tool. Just to show you guys, this is fairly a simple process. So a lot of people will do the valve spring keeper as well. You can just pop that out by either hitting around this and pulling it out, or I usually just leave them in there until I have a problem with them. Slide your valve spring back through, and then at this point, once it's clean, like my other set of heads I've showed you guys, people do what's called valve lapping, which is where you stick this through and there's like a little plunger like tool you can put on this and around this with a compound called valve lapping compound, and then that way you can spin this at a high speed like this, and what it'll do is it'll mate that contact point really good between the two and make sure that that valve is, you know what I mean, getting a good seal once it slaps. So shit slaps. Alright, we're gonna put the valve back on, have the bell side up, flat side down. Now that my keepers are at hand, make sure that this is adjusted real good, because you got to line it up with the keepers, and sometimes that's a big pain in the ass. Make sure your tool's all the way open. And lined up so it won't like fall through at an angle through your keeper side. I just kind of squeezed it down to lock her all in. You'll want to make sure that this angle is straight, because when you got this big tool on it, it's really easy to, you know, have it at a janked angle, and it's not just gonna, you know, real compress easy. Make sure that on your head side it's lined up perfect again. Clamp her down, exposing your valve. And then I like this one because you're able to, like, say if you're a little close, you can even use this to kind of fine adjust it right now. Give yourself a little room on your keeper side to make sure that when you set this into the bell, that's going to go right in. So that's your keepers right there. And when I say the inside of the bell, I'm saying that inside of that lip ring right here. When this dances around, it's hard to make the keeper slip through the bell. So now that I got the keeper there, I'll slowly, I like it when it's set at about this depth from my hand, because then I can use my thumb to kind of push it away just an itty bitty bit and make sure that as it extends, that the keeper stays in line and I'm not making a jank. So I kind of get it halfway at first. Feel it slip into the retainer, and there's a valve spring. Slap it once for good luck, you know what I'm saying? So with that, you have correctly removed and replaced your valve spring. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for more tech support.